Hello explorers, thanks for joining us again and welcome back to another exciting and informative video on our YouTube channel. If you are joining us for the first time, we want to thank you for watching. In this episode, I will be diving into the reason why did Boris Johnson help stop a peace deal in Ukraine. In this episode, I will be looking at the reason why experts in recent peace across the world and foreign policy professionals revealed that Kiev and also Moscow may have had a tentative deal to end the war all the way back in April. I will dive into geopolitics in this episode, bring to you analytical information, draw you contrasting information with regards to the Russian war in Ukraine and why this war is not going to be ending anytime soon. So without any much delay, let's just dive straight into it.
I would like to thank you for agreeing to meet us. We are a 7 African nations peace initiative, and we are essentially on a peace mission to try and promote peace between Russia and Ukraine in this conflict.
Russia and Ukraine may have agreed a tentative deal to end the war in April, according to recent peace in foreign affairs experts. Russia and Ukraine negotiators appear to have tentatively agreed on outlines of a negotiated interim settlement. According to expert Angela Sand, Russia will withdraw to its position on February 23rd when it controlled part of the Donbas region and all of Crimea, and in exchange Ukraine will promise not to seek NATO's membership and instead receive security guarantees from a number of countries. If you look at geopolitics in play, the news highlighted the impact of former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson's effort to stop negotiations, as journalist Branko Marcetic noted on Twitter most recently. The decision to scuttle the deal coincided with Johnson's April visit to Kiev, during which he reportedly urged Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy to break off talks with Russia for 2 key reasons. Putin cannot be negotiated with, and the West isn't ready for a war to end. If you look at perspective, the apparent revelations raise some key questions. Why did Western leaders want to stop Kiev from signing a seemingly good deal with Moscow? Do they consider the conflict a proxy war with Russia? And most importantly, what will it take to get back to a deal? For now, we can only speculate about the answers to the first 2 questions. The third is perhaps no less challenging, especially given the fact that both Ukraine and Russia have at least publicly hardened their negotiation position significantly in recent months. But there are some clusters that could help us answer these particular questions as we dive in this episode. One possible path back to a peace deal is to build a July grain agreement, in which Kiev and Moscow agreed to restart wheat export from Ukraine's Black Sea port. The deal has held strong despite continuing hostilities, allowing more than 1 million metric tons of grains to enter the world market so far. This accord shows that each side is at least interested in reducing global impact of the war. The other option is more complex but not less important. Just recently, a team of international inspectors arrived at the Russian-held Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which has also threatened by nearby shellings in recent weeks. The visit, which will allow experts to ensure that the plant remains in safe conditions, is as a result of intensive talks backed by pressure from the international community. In this case, both Russia and Ukraine are signaling that their commitment to avoid a nuclear catastrophe. In other words, Kiev and Moscow have both sworn that they want to mitigate the secondary effects of the conflict, and they're willing to negotiate with the enemy in order to do this. But as long as this war drags on, people around the world will continue to suffer, and the specter of the catastrophic event, whether through an erratic strike or a power plant or an uncontrolled escalations to the nuclear war, will continue to loom. It's time for Russia, Ukraine, and the West to recognize that there is only one way to put an end to this risky lay down arms and also come to the negotiation table. If you look at geopolitics in play, European Union is expected to suspend a visa agreement with Russia, which will make it more difficult and also more expensive for Russian tourists to visit across in the European Union bloc. According to experts, the decision is a compromise between European Union member states that want to ban all Russian travelers from entering the Schengen zone and others that see such a move as counterproductive. In a joint statement, France and Germany explained their opposition to a full ban. We caution against far-reaching restrictions on our visa policy in order to prevent feeding the Russian narrative and trigger unintended rallying around the flag effects and also or estranging future generations. Based on our analysis, if you look at the Russian-Ukrainian war, Russia blocked the United Nations agreement and also aimed at shortening up the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, the NPT, citing concerns about clauses related to the situation at Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. According to our own research based on newspaper publication, the move highlighted a negative effect for Russia's invasion that has also on a non-proliferation effort in recent months. But Washington should still do everything in its power to also work with Moscow to reduce each country's nuclear stockpile. The framework for US-Russian arms control arrangement is not perfect and will require consistency and also concessions from both Washington and Moscow. If you look at other aspects, if you consider the particular situation in regards to Russia and Ukraine, the arms control bargain and also benefits like the non-use of nuclear weapons in war in 1945 have also constantly outweighed the perceived cost. Most recently, French President Emmanuel Macron gave a detailed rundown of his stance towards the war in Ukraine. According to other experts, Macron argued that Europe must get prepared for a long war in order to put Ukraine in the best possible position for negotiation. He also defended his decision to keep talking with Putin, arguing that we must do everything to make a negotiation peace possible. If you look at geopolitics with regards to the United States of America's department, most recently, press briefing spokesperson Vandana Patel responded to concerns that the United States of America's weapon transfer to Ukraine have dropped Pentagon's stockpile to uncomfortable low levels. The United States of America has stood with the people of Ukraine for 31 years and we will continue to firmly stand with them as they defend their freedom and independence, according to the White House spokesperson. We are going to continue to stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes. If you look at United States of America's President Joe Biden's State of the Union address, where he echoed out clearly that the United States of America is ready to stand with Ukraine for the long run. However, Russia has made it clear that they are also ready for this war as long as it takes. We want to thank you for watching. Hopefully we've informed you with regards to the strategic issues and geopolitics in play with regards to the Russian-Ukrainian conflict. Let us know what you think with regards to the visit of former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson to Ukraine, and what influence do you think, based on analyst report and research information, that his presence in Ukraine then has caused the peace deal to fall out with regards to April of last year. Want to thank you for watching. We are looking forward to meeting you soon in our next episode. If you are new to this channel, we encourage you to check some of our informative videos and leave us your comment. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
I'd like to thank you for agreeing to meet us. We are a 7 African nations peace initiative, and we are essentially on a peace mission to try and promote peace between Russia and Ukraine in this conflict.
We welcome the balanced attitude of our African friends with regard to the Ukraine crisis. Distinguished friends, we value your interest to settle the conflict.